Well, hello there. Welcome to Culture Exchange Live, the live stream where culture, gaming, and faith, tech, and real world news collide. I'm your host, Wu Ronan, and tonight we're breaking down the biggest stories shaping the world on screen and off. If you're watching live, jump in the chat, drop your thoughts, and let's dig in. What's really beneath the headlines? Let's get started. Well, before we came across this viral thing about this raccoon, it's a trash panda.
In Ashland, and according to social media posts by Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter, a raccoon broke into the store the night of Black Friday and ransacked several shelves. They have masks, don't they? The animal became intoxicated, then passed out in the bathroom. The sleeping raccoon was discovered Saturday morning.
Head right near the toilet. We've all been there probably at some point in our lives,
been a Christmas party.
An officer brought the masked bandit back to the county animal shelter to recover. So yes, that's a lot of liqueur for a little raccoon there. The raccoon slept it off for a few hours and showed no signs of injury. Bounced back. Officers released the raccoon back into the wild.
It happened Saturday in Ashland, and according to social media posts by Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter, a raccoon broke into the store the night of Black Friday and ransacked several shelves. They have masks, don't they? The animal became intoxicated, then passed out in the bathroom. The sleeping raccoon was discovered Saturday morning.
Head right near the toilet. We've all been there probably at some point in our lives, right?
A little too much.
An officer brought the masked bandit back to the county animal shelter to recover. So yes, that's a lot of liqueur for a little raccoon there. The raccoon slept it off for a few hours and showed no signs of injury. Bounced back. Officers released the raccoon back into the wild.
It happened Saturday in Ashland, and according to social media posts
Oh well. There's rockets. Phoenix. Oh well. That was all of them. Can you hear me now? I guess I wasn't able to be heard to that whole article. Well, let's read a different article from. What the heck? Why is the guy talking? Nobody cares. Give me a sec. Was it this one? That's one I just read. That you didn't hear. Oh man, what a start. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Is it this one? Game Informer. Yeah. So let's see what Game Informer gave it. Oh, failed. All right, here we go. Game Informer. Let me zoom in just a tad. Yeah. Okay, PlayStation 5. Oh, okay. Tribute Games creators of where'd you go? Creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, know how to spice up the easy blended beat 'em up with genre like few studios can. And Marvel Cosmic Invasion is no exception. Injecting tag team mechanics reminiscent of Marvel Tag Fighters adds a fun layer of strategy and chaos to the intergalactic SmackDown, created a retro-inspired treat comic fans shouldn't miss. When the evil nihilist hatches a plot to take over the galaxy, a collective of heroes from iconic names like Spider-Man, Captain America, and Wolverine to space-faring saviors like Favala, Nova, and Silver Surfer stand up to oppose him. As a comic book fan, I appreciate the roster's diversity and feature name as She-Hulk, Beta Ray Bill, and more modern cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah, the sprites look great. Oh, okay, let's check this video out. Can I click on it? What the hell is happening? Oh. Why isn't it working? Because I'm not sharing it. Share it. Let's check it out.
Fully charged.
Get ready to feel the heat. Phoenix Flame!
Dual repulsor blast.
Turn him up, Genie.
power flows through me!
Iron cannon! Fire them up, Red! Power cosmic in action!
We are Venom! Vibranium blade!
Case closed!
Oh, they got sentinels. That looks good. Did a good job with that one. Minimize that. Let's get rid of that. Oh, they also have. Is it this guy's? No. Sure. You can see all the players. Nova. That Storm. Venom. I don't know who that is. Is that supposed to be looking like that new Miss Marvel? Or Captain Marvel? Garbage. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Could have done with the Hulk. Black Panther. Oh, not bad. Is that Iceman or Silver Surfer? Yeah, Silver Surfer. Alright, they got some good characters going. Let's close that out. Oh. Yeah, give me a second, guys. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. Let's see a couple of these other. I saw this one, that was pretty good. He mentioned Brutus. I don't know if you know this guy. It wasn't shit in it, but they get the way the characters like before. This is old Cap. Storm. I guess pixelated. They did a better job before. That was Capcom. Spider-Man looks badass. Leveling up. Alright. Let's move on. Pretty good. Alright. Close these out. Give me a quick second. Yeah, after that, I read that whole article. This is how I felt.
I'm retarded? I'm retarded?
Oh, no, Fuzzy, what do you want? All right, take you on a second. So I got a guest here. His name is Frank. All right, let's see what's next on the docket. Oh, let's talk about what's that? Splinter. We'll do a Splinter Cell. So Splinter Cell. Let's do this. Splinter Cell is supposed to be coming out. Let's do this. After 3 years of brief tenure on Battlefield 6, former Splinter Cell remake game director rejoins Ubisoft for Sam Fisher's big comeback. A very special team and project to me. All right, guys, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I gotta take my little buddy out. Give me a quick second. All right, I'm back. So, it's give me a second to catch my breath. Okay, Ubisoft's remake of the original Splinter Cell is still in development. As a familiar face returns to the project, David Grivell, former game director on the upcoming release, is now back directing Splinter Cell remake after leaving the same position over 3 years ago. Grivell himself confirmed the move on LinkedIn, announcing he's back in a familiar territory with Sam Fisher. A very special team and project to me, he says in the post. Previously, he's held the director position from November 2021 to October 22. through Splinter Cell's remake. Oh, hold on. Hello. Okay. Just making sure. I don't want to feel like this again.
I'm retarded?
Gribble himself confirmed the move on. Okay, previously he held the director's position. Then he exited Ubisoft's Toronto to join another major publisher, working on Battlefield 6 with Ridgeline Games until the outfit's closure in 2024. Then comes an interesting wrinkle. Gribble rejoined Ubisoft's Toronto, but for an unannounced game in summer 2024, only to step away in December of that year for this defunct studio, Untold. Oh. I wonder if that's the studio. I think Tencent bought them. And now he's returned to where this cycle started, back in guiding Sam Fisher's glorious return to our screens and controllers. It's been 12 years since Splinter Cell Blacklist, the last game in the Stealth franchise thus far. Though Blacklist did well critically, it didn't sell as much as Ubisoft would have liked, leading Sam being placed on the back burner until now. His resurgence is underway with Splinter Cell Death Watch having come out on Netflix in November. I was upset because he wasn't the main person. It was the black chick. And now this remake. Though we haven't had any more substantial updates, Gribble's appointment suggests it's still a priority, moving ahead as planned, if largely in the shadows. Yeah, let's check out this trailer or this announcement of. Why did it do that? Boom. Boom.
Splinter Cell is back. Ubisoft Toronto has begun work on a remake of Sam Fisher's most classic operations, and with the series' return on the horizon, it's the perfect time to look back at the game that started it all.
What the hell?
I'm going to ask you some questions. When I think you're lying, I'll do this. Who do you work for?
Splinter Cell launched back in 2002, a time when Ubisoft was best known as the company that made Rayman, a bright and colorful platformer. Splinter Cell was not that. It was a dark and serious stealth action game that favored slow, methodical movements over frantic action. And no one was quite sure how fans would react.
Maybe it's better if I didn't see anything.
To find out more about the development of that first game and the lasting effects it had, we spoke to some of the folks that helped launch the original Splinter Cell and some that are helping to bring it back.
Sam Fisher. I can't believe you beat me here. I like to be early.
Very first time we really understood that we had a hit in our hands is, I guess, when we were talking to Microsoft. Like, we had that feeling, that gut feeling, but it wasn't validated by anything, and we never had a hit before at Ubisoft, like not a big one like that. When Microsoft came to us and looked at it, they knew also something was up, and they were considering it for their E3 showcase at the time for showing off the Xbox, and it was super.
It has the Xbox colors. I remember that. Continue.
Scary for us because we're like, how are people going to react? We don't know because it's very dark. Is it going to come through nicely on the screen? Is it going to show off its colors?
The feedback we received from E3 was so incredible, so it just gave us a huge push to get things done and get this game to the level of the expectations.
Probably for E3 and for our competitors and for for players at large, it probably came out of nowhere.
There was this whole, who is Ubisoft? It was a transformation of what Ubisoft could do and how they were regarded.
That was very special because at that time at Ubisoft Montreal, we were.
Yeah, it was good times back then.
producing games, but we were not in a AAA mindset at that time. And this game became somehow a great inspiration from the teams. And from that moment, when Splinter Cell did release with a very cool feedback and nice reviews and nice popularity as well, this has been an incredible trigger for the whole studio to reach for this level of achievement for other games.
But what exactly was it that drew in audiences at that E3? What did Splinter Cell do that set it apart from the crowd? The answer, as it turns out, was pretty black and white.
Light, shadow. It's instantly relatable and instantly something that you know how to play with.
People paid attention because they had never seen such amazing visuals at first. That whole shadow and light was beautiful, and it was giving a dimension that they had never played with.
And it had to do with the Xbox and the ability of the Xbox to render these dynamic lights with dynamic shadows and dynamic real-time shadows. And it was really the ambition of the team early on to push the visual fidelity of the game as far as we could. The way art and level design had to work together to deal with.
So I was hoping for that Netflix series to focus on Sam Fisher just kicking ass like the game.
How dynamic lights would affect the gameplay as well as the visuals was probably one of the biggest challenges of development.
Yeah, the parts where Sam Fisher was in, that's were the best parts of the game, the show. I enjoyed those parts.
It was one of those times where a game came out and just really had a brilliant presentation that was so critical for the actual design itself. So you can only imagine how exciting that would have been for the team.
The first time we saw the fish tanks that you could shoot the fish tanks and the water would lower down with the stream and down to the level of the bullet hole, and then it would stop, and you could keep shooting it and lowering it. Little tweaks like that, little surprises that people just found the time and the energy to put in to add the polish and the care to the game. That was great.
I remember thinking to myself, I was super blown away by the tech advances that were part of that game, the stencil shadows and the moving cloth and, the thermal goggles and all of the stuff. And I just remember thinking to myself, how that was even possible at the time.
Visually, it was amazing. The light effects were remarkable, ahead of anything else that was being done at the time. But it was even more than that.
The use and exploitation of light and shadow set Splinter Cell apart from its competitors. But it would take more than that to deliver on the development team's promise. A promise they felt so strongly about, they put it right on the box art.
Stealth Action Redefined was born out of the fact that this was a challenge to the god of tactical espionage action, which was Metal Gear Solid. It was really the mission that Splinter Cell set out for itself. It was, okay, if we're going to take espionage, if we're going to take stealth action, how are we going to position that
color
in a way that fits the Tom Clancy brand values as well?
We had Rainbow Six. Redstone was working on Ghost Recon. Those were obvious Tom Clancy games. But Splinter Cell came from Montreal. And Montreal wasn't working on Tom Clancy at the time. And when we looked at it, we looked at the fantasy, we looked at the realism
the Ghost Recon game.
And the techno-thriller aspect of it. We
Wildlands.
figured that would perfectly fit under Tom Clancy.
Back then, there was a lot of games that were very kind of heavy on just shoot, kill, be done. That's how you get through these situations. Splinter Cell made you slow down, it made you think, it made you kind of try to understand the threats that were ahead of you, and it layered all of those features together. And it rewarded players for thinking differently, for being a bit more kind
Anybody out there like and subscribe?
The way that they chose to solve those situations.
The idea of being the one who can make the difference, who can go into those places that no one's supposed to be able to go to and do what no one's supposed to be able to do, that's an incredibly powerful fantasy. And it's a lot of fun to be that person.
We used an actor that was a recognized person. That was new at the time.
Anybody have a line back to Third Echelon?
I'm here, Fisher.
What the hell's going on? Nicolad's just declared war on the U.S. What?
Now it's something that a lot of people do, a lot of game publishers. It's kind of normal. But at the time, it wasn't. And we really looked at it like, first it was a Clancy brand. So we looked at it like something bigger than just a video game, marketed it that way, and created a persona.
Sam's a great character. He's smart, he's funny, he's fast, he does.
Yeah, they did a great. This was great. I can't wait to play this one.
What he can do with a minimum of waste. He's high speed, low drag, and he's just an incredibly fun character to play.
While Sam is unequivocally the star of the Splinter Cell franchise, let's be honest, he'd get nowhere without his signature night vision goggles. Not only are they an essential tool in Sam's arsenal, they're the symbol of the entire franchise. Those 3 green dots and that iconic sound.
Yeah.
Yep, that sound is enough to know exactly what game you're dealing with.
The sound came in very late, and I think that
beautiful.
We didn't realize how important and valuable it was until someone said, we really got to have a much more iconic sound in here somewhere. And it had this kind of very military feel to it. We were trying to create something that felt very realistic and modern. And, just because of the speed at which technology moves, it kind of became its own thing in time. And it adhered to sort of the genuineness of it and kind of stuck.
Is that Van Damme?
19 years ago, Splinter Cell put Ubisoft on the map and changed the landscape for stealth action games across the industry. Now, thanks to the upcoming remake, a brand new generation can experience the best Splinter Cell has to offer. For future updates on the Splinter Cell remake, follow this channel and visit us at news.ubisoft.com.
Yeah, that sound was iconic. Is iconic. Just, they did a great job with that sound. So moving on. Okay. I guess we'll talk about Tides of Annihilation. Tides of Annihilation. Give me a second to bring it up. Here we go. This is from Video Gamer, this article. Okay, inspired by the legend of King Arthur, Tides of Annihilation seeks to reinvent the medieval stories of Camelot through cinematic action-adventure goodness. This upcoming new single-player action-adventure will tell the tale of heroic Gwendolyn as she fights to save her sister and piece back together a shattered modern London. There's a joke there. With plenty of trailers already in circulation, we can get plenty of the information. We can glean plenty of information and what to expect from Tides of Annihilation with combat reminiscent of Stellar Blade. Great game. This upcoming Dark Horse could well reach the heights of Black Myth series. Let's check out the trailer of Annihilation. I don't want to stop sharing. I want to share. Where'd you go? Annihilation. Annihilation. Here we go. Tides of Annihilation. Am I sharing? Here we go.
We thought all his knights were dead. Yet Lamorak sends one more. I almost admire him.
Tyranno! But you're one of the White King's sorceresses. You destroyed the White Lands.
That destruction is in fact salvation.
You're insane!
You know not of what you speak. Accept your defeat.
This trailer is awesome. That's the gameplay of the game.
She's created another folded realm. I can't reach her.
We cannot cross two folded realms, but this spear can. Take the spear.
Oh, graphics are beautiful. Combat?
It seems you do have the capacity to surprise us. But not enough. Change practice. Even with your new ally, we end this here.
Smash! Archimedes.
Enemy of my enemy, I lend you my strength.
We fight as one.
Gwendolyn gets the power.
Tyranno of the Nine. You will not escape justice. Justice. There is only the king's will.
Go to hell!
Foolish knight and your foolish friend.
Oh man, look at that mirroring.
You choose the comfort of lies.
This is pretty cool.
Loyalty without inquiry is in itself a betrayal.
Magic spells.
Your loyalty has condemned this man.
Sounds great. Ooh. You just don't give it. Should have just killed it with that. I like it. It's on my wish list. Okay, let's moving on. Let me put this here. Give me a sec. What are we talking about next? Let me get this one up. What is this? This can't. That one is that. And all right. What if I did this? Give me a. Sorry guys, I'm just still trying to figure this out. Okay. Let's share. No, I can't share that. Let's talk about Helldivers. Helldivers is there's an article from our friends at Geeks and Gamers. The good lads over there. Let's check this article out. And I scroll up. Okay. Helldivers. This is from December 1st. The long-rumored Helldivers movie is officially moving forward, and Sony has tapped one of the most recognizable action directors in Hollywood to lead charge. Justin Lin, best known for revitalizing the Fast and Furious franchise into a global powerhouse, has signed on to direct the live-action adaptation of Arrowhead Game Studio popular cooperative shooter. Sony and PlayStation Productions are continuing their push into game-based films and series, and Helldivers marks another major step toward expanding their catalog of console IP into mainstream theoretical entertainment. Not theoretical, theatrical. Okay. Retard alert. Justin Lin's a veteran action director takes the helm. Justin Lin's resume is practically synonymous with large-scale action. After transforming the Fast and Furious into a multi-billion-dollar blockbuster brand and later directed Star Trek Beyond, he now turns his attention to sci-fi battlefield of Super-Earth and its chaotic war fronts. According to industry insiders, Lin is approaching Helldivers with a specific goal: finding humanity beneath the carnage. Okay. Hope he does a great job with it. Oh, Lin isn't a gamer himself, but they reportedly worked in his favor with the studio. Rather than being locked into existing player expectation, he's focusing on character dynamics, emotional stakes, and shaping a mythology that can support a long-term franchise. But it's built in. In other words, Sony isn't just aiming for a one-off adaptation, they're clearly eyeing something scalable. Alongside directing, Lin will produce the film under his Perfect Storm Entertainment banner, joining Hutch Parker and PlayStation's Azad Kizbalsh and Carter Swan. A script from a proven horror hitmaker. The screenplay comes from Gary Duberman, the writer behind the It and Annabelle films, two highly successful entries. Oh, so that would be cool. With the monsters being scary. Oh, like an alien. Okay. All right. I give it to him. We'll see how this goes. While Helldivers leans more toward sci-fi comedy and militaristic satire than horror, Duberman's experience crafting tension-driven narrative suggests the movie will lean harder into the high-stakes, monster-packed side of the franchise. The game's explosion in popularity raises the stakes. The original Helldivers became a cult hit with a debut in 2015, but the property didn't become globally phenomenal until Helldivers 2 launched in 2024. The sequel sold more than 12 million copies across PlayStation 5 and PS within its first 4 months and recently expanded to Xbox, helping the franchise become one of the biggest gaming stories of the decade. Its tone, a blend of teamwork, over-the-top action, political satire, and bug-splattering chaos, positions it a Sony clearest opportunity to tap into the male action-driven audience. The Helldivers unit features humanity's elite unit of soldiers defending Super-Earth against escalating alien threats. The bugs, the cyborgs, and the illuminate. Throw in spores, resurrect alien corpse, and foe democratic interplanetary government, and the film practically makes itself. Exactly. Sony and the PlayStation are doubling down on the game adaptations. So they're all coming. They're all going to come for the games. I just hope they do it justice. Helldivers Movies joins a growing slate of PlayStation production titles, including Uncharted, The Last of Us, and Pika's Twisted Metal. Sony has made it clear that they see video games adaptation as their next major entertainment pillar, and Lynn's involvement signals they want Helldivers to sit alongside the flagship franchises. Lynn is also still attached to Sony's live-action One Punch. Oh, okay. Oh, Netflix adaptation Berserker. With the multiple major projects in development, he could soon be in the center of several large-scale genre universes. Okay, I gotta look out for this guy. A franchise in the making, given Lynn's blockbuster track record and Helldivers' meteor rise in popularity, the movie has genuine franchise potential. The source material, chaotic missions, rotating enemies, and satirical depiction of militarizing democracy, offering endless possibilities for sequels, especially if Sony aims to build a cinematic counterpart to the co-op game's communal spectacle. If the adaptation captures even a fraction of the energy that made the games such a cultural moment, Sony may have found its next big sci-fi series, provided, of course, to steer clear of devices. Yes. Identity politics and focus on action. Yes, and the character, you could have some character driven. Yes. Oh man, this is awesome. Oh, let's check this. We had a couple tweets about this. Let's see. Where's the one this one. This I think this was a good one. This one.
We are cool. Can you give me a sec?
Alan, we are so fucked.
Cool.
I thought that was funny when we did that.
Can you give me a sec?
Maybe you like that one. Oh, I like it. Helldivers director Justin Lin is not a gamer. He leaned into his strength when pitching his stake. Okay. All right. Let's check another one out. Helldivers, let's go. This is awesome. Hey, what? No! I like it. Let's check this one out. This is Helldivers. If you guys were wondering.
Our galaxy. A perfectly managed territory overflowing with democracy-sustaining resources. Resources that allow humanity to live, grow, and obey with absolute freedom. Out of all our
Obey with
rightfully owned
absolute
worlds,
freedom.
we reserve the best ones for our citizens. Ensuring every drop of oil, every ore of metal is professionally removed by our expert hand. But in the shadows, a dark menace lurks. While we carefully extract our natural resources, the automatons ravage entire worlds. Take the magma planets. Too hot for humans, too unstable for farming, too explosive for tourism, yet rich in minerals. Minerals the automatons steal with every drill. Their unsanctioned mining endangers not only humanity's expansion, but the very survival of managed democracy itself. Across the galaxy, our brave Helldivers fight to reclaim our worlds. But we need citizens like you to turn liberated rock into freshly mined freedom. For more information on how you can help, contact your nearest Ministry of Expansion Center today. Because every ore they take is a child's future lost.
Dive now.
PlayStation.
That was good. That was good. Oh man, they do a great job with their satirical. All right, let's move into what are we doing next? Let's do this. All right. All right. There's this article. I hope you guys could see me. No. Yes. All right. So CNA explains when is deportation policy intrinsically evil and when it is not. So this article from National Catholic Register. So we just go over this real quick and I have some comments. Okay, well, I haven't read this one, so let's move forward with this. While Catholic teachings affirms human dignity and the right to migrate when necessary, debate has centered on the means of immigration policy. Okay. This was from a couple of days ago. Catholic bishops in the United States have expressed unified disapproval of the indiscriminate mass deportations of people, as the Department of Homeland Security deported over, those are rookie numbers, 527,000 deportations and another 1.6 million self-deportations since January 20th. Several Catholics in the Trump administration, such as J.D. Vance and Border Czar Tom Homan, have invoked their faith to defend the heavy crackdown on migrants who do not have legal status in the country after Bishop's message of dismay. Make this a little bigger. Caring for immigrants is a clear command in the scripture. In scripture, Catholic teaching on the matter of mass deportation is somewhat nuanced, with obligations on wealth countries to welcome immigrants and responsibilities for immigrants to follow the laws of nations receiving them. And there's a crux, right? That's where the issue is at. The Catholic approach, where's that? I leave off. Dignity, obligation to welcome immigrants for the laws and the nation receive them. The Catholic approach to immigration in recent decades have underscore mercy and respect for the migrants, human dignity, and prudence on the part of public officials to safeguard the common good, with an emphasis on response to migrants that welcomes, protects, promotes, and integrates. See, these are issues that we're having. That's the problem. While Catholic teaching affirms human dignity and the right to migrate when necessary, but when is it necessary? Debate has centered on the means of immigration policy. When is deportation policy intrinsically evil? If something is intrinsically evil, it means that it is immoral under the circumstances and for any reason, regardless of one's motivation or the intent of consequences of the action. That term is reserved for actions themselves that can never be morally justified. A policy, okay, when is a policy? As St. John Paul II explained in his 1993 encyclical Veritas Splendor, an intrinsically evil act is one that by its very nature is incapable of being ordered to God, because the act is in conflict with the good of the person made in his image. He cites Gaudium et Spes, the pastoral constitution on the church in the modern world, issued by the Second Vatican Council in 1965, to offer some examples of intrinsic evils. Although the council itself does not use the term intrinsically evil, he references the council's description of actions that are opposed to life itself, which include murder, genocide, abortion, euthanasia, or willful self-destruction. So suicide. It also lists, among other things, actions that insults human dignity, such as subhuman living conditions, arbitrary imprisonment, deportation. Whoa. Deportation. Slavery, prostitution, and the selling of women and children. Well, why is deportation there? Where's this one? The country. Oh, let me look this up. The council is intrinsic. He references the description. Council's description of intrinsically evil. Evil, Second Vatican Council. It's not concerned. No, not intrinsic evil, Second Vatican Council on deportation. Let's see. Let's say deportation is does list. Oh, it does list. Okay, among practices that are gravely contrary to human dignity. Oh, okay. When they are arbitrary or inhumane. Arbitrary, but it's not arbitrary. We just stop picking up people and shoving them out. See? Give me a second. Where did that go? From here. Let me show you. Where'd that go? Intrinsically evil is the word. See? This is they're misleading. Let's see what it said. This is Vatican II does not say that deportation as such is intrinsically evil, but Gaudium et Spes does list deportation among practices that are gravely contrary to human dignity. Contrary to human dignity, when they are arbitrary or inhumane. Type of deportation can intrinsically evil, especially an arbitrary mass expulsion like due process. The due process is, hey, are you supposed to be here legally? No? Sorry, you're out. Distinguish between deportation as a legal mechanism, which can be morally legitimate and forms of deportation that treat person. Yes, we're giving them money to leave. They can say, hey, we got some money, you want to get out of here? No, we'll send your ass out. Continuing on. Sorry about that. I just he references a council description of insults human such as subhuman. Neither John Paul II nor the council elaborate on the meaning of deportation in this context. There it is. This specific documents, although in 1990 encyclical Sentimus Annus, the Holy Father spoke about deportation within the context of forced removal of people during World War II. See, that's when, as a result of this, that's when the Nazis throwing the whomever out. Numerous masses of people were compelled to leave their homeland and forcibly deported. Yes. Okay. They're lying to you guys. As a result of this violent division of Europe, enormous masses of people were compelled to leave their homeland or were forcibly deported. Joseph Capazzi, Dean of the School of Theology and Religious Studies at the Catholic University of America, told CNN that context appears to refer to deportation that are both arbitrary and without due process, like World War II. The context was, of course, back to deportation of people absent any due process and their treatment as movable property or chattel. He said, this is by definition treating those humans as subhuman, offering their God-given status by their creation in his image and likeness. So they are within Catholic teaching. In relation to subhuman living conditions being intrinsically evil, Capazzi said all people must be treated as humans, regardless of legal status. No person, he said, can be treated with cruelty or absent basic human regard. Dominican Father Thomas Petrie, a moral theologian and theologian and former president of the Dominican House of Studies, told CNN what did he tell them? That deportation as an enforcement of immigration law in any of itself can be... No, can't. Okay. There is going to be a prudential debate and prudential discussion on what constitutes immoral, evil deportation, Father said. Even if this disagreement on who should be deported when the deportation happens, it should happen in a way that doesn't undermine the dignity of those deported. Even when this is a justification, even when there is justification, deportation, those who are being deported must be treated, yes, humanely, dignity, which includes the natural rights to food, human living conditions, and access to religion, Father Petrie said. Anything that contradicts or harms their dignity is certainly grave. When can governments limit immigration? The church has consistently encouraged nations to welcome the stranger. The lines of Christ commanded Matthew 25 to 35. And he also recognized government needs to protect the common good. In 1988, the Pontifical Commission for Justice and Peace issued a document called The Church and Racism, which addressed the subject. For immigration and refugees, the commission said governments must ensure that basic human rights be recognized and guaranteed such people could be victims of racial prejudice and are at risk of various forms of exploitation, be it economical or other. The document also acknowledges that public powers are responsible for the common good and must determine the number of refugees or immigrants which country accept. How about zero until we get this shit cleared here? The government should consider the possibilities for employment and its perspectives for development, but also the urgency of the need of the people. Another concern is a need to avoid a serious imbalance that could be created when an overly heavily concentration of persons from another culture is perceived and directly threat the identity and customs of a local community that receives them. Well, I think that's part of the problem is integration, right? They have to try to become American. Pope Pius XII made similar observations when addressing American officials in 1946, saying, "It is not surprising that changing circumstances have brought about a certain restriction being placed on foreign immigration. And in this matter, not only the interests of immigrants, but the welfare of the country also must be consulted. Such restrictions," he said, "should still never forget Christian charity and the sense of human solidarity existing between all men, children of the one eternal God and Father." The Catechism of the Catholic Church sums up the Church's position, which is this, 2241. Teaching that prosperous nations have the obligation to the extent they are able to welcome the foreigner. Yes, that's to welcome them to the country, not for them to leech off of the country. The immigrant has an obligation to respect with gratitude and material spiritual heritage of the countries they receive them, not make this your country of origin. Meaning, not make it like your country of origin. To obey its laws and to assist its, political authorities for the sake of the common good for which they are responsible may make the exercise of the right to immigrate subject to various judicial conditions. It ends without touting mass deportation as a moral idea. Capazzi said governments must protect an actual common good for immigration law. He said that means sometimes by allowing immigrants in to assist and also to limit immigration to allow immigrants integration into the host nation and to protect the nation's workforce. Unemployment. Enforcement, he said, can occur if the person has unlawfully entered, but cases that require deportation should inspire more prudence. Father said that primary concern comes when you are talking about people who have been here. Yes, they've been hiding for 20 years. They've been doing something illegal for 20 years. It doesn't matter. This is a moral difference between deporting hard and violent criminals and deporting, say, a husband and wife who have just tried to make a living, he said. Oh. Well, I don't know. It says by Catholic teachings that they were doing the right thing by getting them out of here. It's not intrinsically evil. That had to do with if they were being shipped out for no reason. There is a reason. You're here illegally. All right. Let's take a break and check out, what's this? A Warhammer game. I need a little break from that article.
Peggy 18. We have fought the enemies of humanity across 1,000 worlds. No respite, no remorse, no mercy. We are the wrath of the Emperor, his angels of death. But the Imperium lies broken, its armies scattered and reeling. Our foes rise to drag us down, and the galaxy has been torn asunder. On the world of Cronus, we make our stand. We are the Blood Ravens. There is no victory to claim here. Only vengeance to enact. Whilst even one of us lives, we fight. For only in death does duty end.
Coming 2026. All right. Well, I was preparing for the show tonight. Saw this, came across. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? This. And if you guys saw this, we have let's see. Emma Stone reportedly turned down Batman 2 after requesting her full fees. So Scarlett Johansson will be in the new Batman, or Batman 2. Hopefully, people are speculating she's probably going to be, what's that from? Phantasm? Mask of the Phantasm? Let's see. Where did you go? I don't know if anybody see this, pretty good. Pretty good. I think it's probably the best Batman show or anything Batman related that's on Division Media. That'd be cool if they did what's his name? The doctor from Arkham. What's his name? Oh man. He has the beard. Ah. Yep. So you should. Hopefully it'll be good. I think the same person's making that did the first one. He was there tonight. Let's see. Yeah, the Mask of. Yep. So hope it's decent. Because the first one was not so good. Wow. Wow, that's terrible. You know, I messed up tonight again. Am I muted? I hope not. No. Oh, man. Trash Panda, there's that. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, the Batman. Let's talk about conversion. Let's talk about AI. Moving to AI. AI segment.
The war against the machines.
It's the AI segment. So, this came out a couple days ago. AI's growing ubiquity needs the church to articulate the ethics of this second industrial revolution. Give me a second before I start on this article. So Coca-Cola's Christmas advert this year criticized as soulless and has been created through generative AI. This may feel novel, but the Interactive Advertising Bureau has found 90% of the advertisers plan to use AI tools to create their marketing videos by 2026. 90%. This isn't limited to one industry. In a recent program, Will AI Take My Job? Channel 4 revealed that 3/4 of UK bosses have replaced human workers with AI across medicine, law, and journalism. The program highlighted the impact also on creative industries where support teams like lights, makeup, set design all become unnecessary. The show itself was the first to be entirely presented by an AI host. Wow. Learn the trades, guys. Learn the trades. Learn how to use your hands. As a Conservative MP, Tom Tugendhat raised in September, AI has been reshaping parliamentary discourse too, and likely in time could shape legislation itself. Tugendhat referenced research that showed the use of certain phrases such as "I rise to speak" and "delight to announce" has spiked to record highs. Also, words like "streamline" and "unlock" have been reaching statistically unlikely heights since the advent of ChatGPT in 2022. This represents a subtle but profound narrowing of the choices of language and grammar used by those whose words and arguments shape our political life. To what extent it also generates the rationale and decision-making of our times is not yet fully understood. AI will be quietly entering the life of the church too. From bidding prayers to homilies. In 2024, a survey of 666 U.S. churches across more than 20 denominations found 87% of the church leaders were in favor of AI, with 66% using it regularly and 13% using it daily. In the UK, teachers in schools deploy it for lesson plan and homework tasks. So what's the point of a teacher? 60% reported doing it so in a survey as the start of 2025, up from 31% in 2023. While at university, 86% are using multiple AI tools regularly. So they're going to be not intelligent. Only AI will be the intelligent one. This is disheartening. Let's continue. Others are turning to AI for spiritual and psychological reassurance to support too. Challenge here for how it can simply reflect the rationale of the prompter were well illustrated in the U.S. Senate hearings this year that heard of suicides where AI chatbots had confirmed the despair-based decision-making of those writing into it for advice from a perceived superior mind. If AI is becoming a defining feature of our age, then what are the material and spiritual ramifications? In this context, Pope Leo XIV's own reflection seems to be ever growing on this issue. Last week, he addressed U.S. teenagers via video link on the 21st of November, urging them to be more intentional with AI use. His message to U.S. youth emphasized the importance of critical thought, to do your own homework, and to use AI carefully. Earlier this month, in his address to filmmakers, he praised the beauty of human expression against the reductionistic logic of algorithms. Why many don't grasp that about AI is that it operates thoroughly probabilistic reasoning. It predicts likely words but does not understand any underlying meaning. Its output is based on its inputs it receives. It has received regression analysis and learning reinforcements. And it has hallucinated facts entirely. The way many people increasingly trust it for medical advice, emotional support, and the answer it gives place a trust in its accuracy, which its own creators repeatedly encourage the public not to do. I agree with that, because I had an issue that I used and I went back with another AI, and the AI said, hey, that's wrong. That's the Stanford professor Fei Li, often called godmother of AI, shared in Bloomberg interview on 20 November this exact concern. For Li, schools are the backbone of tomorrow's society, and it's imperative that understanding AI's strengths and limitations to best guide students on its use. She reflects that some teachers will reject AI outright, and for others it is trusted implicit and not critically. Li imagined AI as the latest tool, a civilization-changing tool like fire or the wheel, but a tool nonetheless. And she said that it was the use of the tool that it will gain its potential for positive or negative effects. Some people will use it for good and others will use it for evil, from fraud and misinformation to ends we cannot yet fully imagine. The concern the present Holy Father has for AI's impact were underscored in his first days as Bishop of Rome, when he highlighted that AI is and will increasingly emerge as a key theme of his pontificate. Hey, that's good. In his first post-conclave address to the cardinals, Pope Leo XIV linked the choice of his name and the inspiration for his papacy to how to respond to this very issue. I choose to take the name of Leo XIV mainly because the historical encyclical Rerun Novum, the 13th, Pope Leo addressed the social questioning of the context of the first great industrial revolution. In our own day, the church offers to everyone the treasury of her social teaching in the response to another industrial revolution and to developments in the fields of artificial intelligence that pose new challenges for the defense of human dignity, justice, and labor. In 1891, Pope Leo XIII in Rerum Novarum of the New Teens also grappled with a revolution that transformed society and their perspectives within that society. His encyclical created a unique Catholic voice that emphasized the eternal values of the faith, of human dignity, justice, and love of neighbor. The encyclical attacked the level of inequalities, the fortunes of some, and the utter poverty of the masses, and the working conditions which grind men down with excessive labor to stupefy their minds and wear out their bodies. However, he went beyond the material and also critiqued the competing utopian philosophies of the era, challenging socialism, which only injures those it seeks to benefit, and which he warned would lead to class conflict, whilst also challenging the unrestrained and careless capitalism, while questioning how far it would benefit all people. It is clear that Pope Leo XIV, this issue is profound and personal element of his papacy, and how he sees the challenge of both our time and that of the world in the coming years. In this capacity, he builds on what became a key focus of Pope Francis in his final years. Pope Francis in 2022 commissioned the Pontifical Academy for Life to work with IBM and Microsoft on AI ethics, with the Vatican responding early, before the large language models had become so preeminent. In his G7 address in June 2024, Pope Francis then emphasized it an exciting and fearsome tool, but noted that it is not relatively generative, but merely repeats those patterns it finds, giving them an appealing form. His final doctrinal note on AI antiquity et nova emphasized that AI needs to complement human intelligence rather than replace it. Hail. And that replacement would amount to a substitute for God. Pope Leo has continued with the themes first raised in the Pontifical Academy Commission earlier this month. He convened on a rare summit of secular and religious academy, tech leaders, politicians, economists, NGOs, and journalists for a conference on the dignity of children and adolescents in the age of artificial intelligence. By engaging in such events, the Vatican is playing a unique role in considering the moral, social, and economical impacts of AI while attempting to develop the Church's unique voice on this technology. The AI-related conference convened by Pope Leo produced an initial declaration of intent, emphasized a shared commitment of developing global governance, education, research, and transparency to support the protection and safety of the young, and in particular, as AI reshapes language, work, and what it considered truth, the Church's voice on these issues is important not only to the faithful, but in shaping the narrative around the technology for all peoples. This is an article by George Gibby. AI is a tool, people. It shouldn't replace humans. Just use it as a tool, just like a drill. All right. Oh, that's my AI for the day.
The war against the machines.
Excuse me. We got another article from National Catholic Register. It's about the Trump bombing or airstriking drug cartels. Archbishop Bergoglio, drug cartels must be stopped, but not with violence outside the law. Well, let's read this article and see our insights and see if we could, just talk about it and make sure that the understanding we have and understanding our faith leaders are in line. Human rights advocates have particularly criticized a September 2nd strike on the alleged drug smuggling boat in which military fired a second strike against 2 individuals who survived the initial strike. U.S. military service Archbishop Timothy Bergoglio is urging the country's leaders to refrain from killing non-combatants while neutralizing violent drug cartels across the world. But they are combatants. I'm confused. This is an article by Daniel Payne, just a couple days ago or yesterday. The Trump administration throughout late 2025 have been launching aggressive strikes against suspected drug cartel operators in the Caribbean and the Pacific Ocean. The White House has come under fire for what critics have claimed are indiscriminate and possibly extra-legal airstrikes against alleged narco boats. Human rights advocates, have particularly criticized a September 2nd strike on an alleged drug smuggling boat in which the military fired a second strike against 2 individuals who survived the initial strike. In a September 3rd statement, Archbishop acknowledged that dismantling the powerful criminal networks responsible for flowing of illegal substances into our nation is a necessary and laudable task. Yet questions have been raised about the use of military force in the Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean. And as a nation, we must ensure that the use of military force is ethical and legal, the prelate says. Bergoglio noted that the methods of eradicating drugs and drug smugglers from the U.S. must be moral and in line with just war theory. What's this? Just war theory? This doesn't say. Just war theories from the Catechism of Catholic Church. Let's see what it says about just war theory. I give a better insight. Okay, just war theory. Elements of a just war. Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2309. This is usually the page or the area, the section it's in. The strict conditions for legitimate defense by military force requires rigorous consideration. The gravity of such decision makes is subject to rigorous conditions of moral legitimacy at one and the same time. The damage inflicted by the aggressor on the nation or community of a nation must be lasting, grave, and certain. All other means of putting an end to it must be shown to impractical and ineffective. Okay, there must be serious prospects of success. Okay, the use of arms must not produce evils and disorders graver than evil to be eliminated. The power of modern means of destruction weighs very heavily in evaluating this condition. It seems like it's, I don't see any proverbs there. Let's go back to the article. Here you go, just war theory. Erin, just war theory. Where'd you go? Which includes a respect for dignity of each human person. No one can ever be ordered to commit an immoral act, and even those suspected of committing a crime are entitled to due process under the law, he said. But there's no law. They're declared terrorists. The intentional killing of non-combatants is forbidden. Yes, that's true. An illegal and immoral order to be killing survivors on a vessel who pose no immediate threat to our armed forces. Military forces possess a legitimate means of ensuring that non-combatants are not killed. Go to point out, vessels can be intercepted, boarded, and members of the Ghost Guard can arrest suspects. So you want to put... Okay. I think this is why they're not in... You can't have certain people in charge of military actions. True justice is achieved through transparent legal procedures, accountability, and respect for life, not through violence outside the law. Whose law? What law? Archbishop Bergoglio, who previously served as president of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops and has led the Archdiocese of the Military Service, USA, since 2008, pointed out that the U.S. has a long tradition of responding to injustices, liberating the oppressed, and leading the free world. Leaders cannot tarnish their reputation with the questionable actions that fail to respect the dignity of human persons and the rule of law, he said. Archbishop Bergoglio urged leaders to refrain from asking soldiers to engage in immoral actions. His further noted that a military chaplain, his own investments in the matter stem from a tradition as old as the country itself. From the beginning, he said, George Washington wanted chaplains with his troops to tell him the truth. I think their targets, it's not captured, it's a kill order. I think this is a problem. I don't think they understand what's the ramifications. Like, they're destroying the boats, the people inside them, because they have a kill order because of the drugs that killed Americans. And they're on the terrorist list. And that's also, it's, what's that called? When, not incitement, when it shows them that, hey, stop doing that shit stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go one more article on the church. So give me one quick second, people. Sorry. Still trying to get used to this system. Let me play this. Let me loop this. Okay, I'm back. Last article on church. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's gonna. Let's listen to a quick song first. This, no, this, no, this. Where'd you go? I hit you up. Here you go.
Oh, copper bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song, with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, raising the sound, oh, in the dead, telling their tale. Glory, in excelsis Deo. Glory, hark how the bells all seem to say, Christmas is here, bringing the cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song, with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they come, praising the sound, Lord in the dead, telling their tale. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Glory, in excelsis Deo. All seem to say Christmas is here, bringing good cheer. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they found praising the sound, oh, in the dead, telling their tale. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. All seem to say Christmas is here, bringing good cheer. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they found praising the sound, oh, in the dead, telling their tale. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Hey, while people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Merry, merry Christmas. Merry, merry Christmas. Oh, they said, oh, we are telling their dreams to everyone. Hark how the bells all seem to say, ding dong, that is their song.
Welcome back. That was little intermission. All right, we got another article from. Give me a quick sec. All right, got another article. Last one of the night. Let me share it. This is from 1 Peter 5. An article from the website. It's called The Harmony of Modernity with Tradition. From Massimo Scapini. Okay, it's Let's go check this out. On December 4th, 1875, Rainer Maria Rilke was born in Prague, a city that is. Let me share. Okay, make sure I'm sharing. That was part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. An irony for a man who was. Oh, okay. Irony for a man who would rise to become one of the foremost lyrical poets of the 20th century Germany. Despite his complex origins, Rilke's literary legacy knows no boundaries. Continuing to inspire readers, writers, and artists across the world, his life dedicated to the pursuit of inner truth and articulation of the ineffable remains a profound embodiment of artistic devotion and spiritual exploration. Born into an aristocratic Carthaginian family, Rilke wrote in German, a language that became the vehicle for his deep poetic vision. His extensive travels across Europe through cities such as Berlin, Trieste, and Paris, where he served as secretary to the renowned French sculptor Augustin Rodin in 1917, broadened his understanding of art and culture. His exposure to distant lands like Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia further expanded his worldview, infusing his poetry with rich, diverse influences. After World War I, Rilke took up permanent residence in the quiet solitude of Musent, Switzerland, where he spent the remaining years of his life in a profound reflection and creative output. Rilke's early works, including early poems and stories of God, reveals the sensitivity of spiritual yearning, capturing his deep engagement with existential questions. With the Book of Images, Rilke began to explore the evanescent nature of time and the evocative power of imaginary. His growing reputation was solidified through works like The Lay of Love and the Death of Christopher Cornet Wilke, and the Books of Hours, a three-part cycle that meditates on the themes of monastic life, pilgrimage, and mortality. Wow. I'm feeling a little, not so bright. Like,
I'm retarded?
All right, let's continue on. I hope reading better than that. A pivotal moment in Rilke's artistic development came through his collaboration with Rodin, which inspired him to produce new poems from 1907 to 1908. These works are characterized by a new form of rigor and precision, imaginary reflections of Rilke's evolving poetic vision. Yet his existential unease continued to surface in the notebook of Malte Lourdes Brigg, a semi-autobiographical novel that delves into anguished depths of self-reflection and isolation. In the early years of his life, Rilke achieved what would become the pinnacle of the poetic achievements, Duna Elegies and Sonnets to Orpheus. These late masterpieces are steeped in abstractions, introspection, and quest for transcendence. Exploring themes of transformation, memory, and human conditions, Rilke established himself as one of the most influential poets of the 20th century. His work continued to resonate deeply, inspiring poets, thinkers, and artists around the world. Rilke's profound spirituality extended beyond the literature and into the realm of music. Between 1922 and 1923, German composer Paul Hindemith set Rilke's Das the Life of Virgin Mary to music, composing 15th Lieder for soprano and piano. Oh, this is okay. Let's hear a couple notes of this.
Schwiegen, verschwiegen sie sich und zeigten die Richtung, wo allein das Gehöft lag des Joachim. Ach, sie fühlten in sich und im Raum die reinste Verdichtung. Aber es durfte keiner näher zu ihr, denn sie beiden waren schon ganz außer sich vorgetan. Eine Nachbarin kam und klugte und wusste nicht wie. Und der Alte vorsichtig ging und verhielt das Gemur einer dunklen Burg. Denn so war es noch nie.
Oh, that was good. Let's get one of these. Give it one of these. All right. So let's continue on. Hindesmith Myths das Marienleben what's that, Opus? Is that Opus? Orpheus. Now regarded as some of the most profound and inspiring works of the 20th century, were later orchestrated by Hindemith. 4 pieces in 1938 and 2 more in 1948. Oh, this is lost music. Hindemith's music delves into the emotional depth of Rauch's verses, tracing the stages of the Mary's life through a series of soundscapes that elevate human emotions into the transcendent mystery of the Incarnation. Hindemith's music can be seen as an oral reflection of Rauch's poetry, a vivid interpretation of the themes and imagery within the text. In the birth of Mary, the music evokes a quiet suspension of angels watching over Mary's birth, creating an atmosphere of stillness and anticipation. In the presentation of Mary, Hindemith uses the form of, I don't know what that is, Pasacalga, to mirror the visual structure of Rilke's poem, gradually intensifying the music tension in the Annunciation to Mary. The sound of a trumpet announces the angel's arrival, adding a tangible element to the ethereal tone of Welk's words. Similarly, in the birth of Christ, Hindemith conjures the joy of Christmas through harmonies in thirds, reflecting the warmth and joys of carols. Hindemith's composition often emphasizes the relationship between form and content, with repeated motifs providing structural clarity. Despite the dissonance woven into much of the work, the music retains clarity and coherence, owing to its formal organization and thematic repetition. The vocal and instrumental parts are treated in equal prominence, with the music remaining predominantly polyphonic, except in piety, where the piano serves as a subtle accompaniment. Thus, Marienleben marked as a pivotal shift in Hindemith's style, steering him towards neoclassicism. The work was quickly hailed as his finest creation to date, though Hindemith would later express dissatisfaction with it. Well, in 1948, he revised several of his compositions, sparking a debate among musicians about the merits of the original versions versus the revisions. Some preferred the youthful vibrance of the original, while Hindemith defended his revisions. Today, listeners can compare both versions not to pass judgment, but to appreciate the distinct qualities each bring to the work. Throughout his life, Raoul carved a literal legacy that balanced reverence for the tradition with the resonance that speaks powerful to the modern world. His exploration of transformation and transcendence through poetry found an equally innovative expression in the music of Hindemith, who translated Welk's words into vibrant and contemporary soundscape. Pope Pius the 12th, eloquently encapsulated the relationship between Hindemith's music and Welk's poetry, stating, "He surely the first among the German representatives of a new musical art, from which one is meant to hear the harsh rhythm of the present shapes in his creation its vigor and harshness, but with increasing recognition of the timeless musical laws by which the great masters have always formed themselves." These words underscore the dual nature of contemporary music, its raw energy and its reverence for the eternal law of artistry. In much the same way, Hindemith's music and Welk's poetry embodied this delicate balance, fusing the intensity of modernity with the enduring beauty of tradition. Their combined legacy continues to inspire and offer us a transcendent vision of the world, one that reaches beyond both time and space. Well, I didn't know about these guys. That was good. That was good. I'm going to listen to a couple more notes. If you guys don't mind, please subscribe. Help me out, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's coming. Here we go.
Wie sie damals war, musst du dich erst an einer Stelle rufen, wo Säulen in dir wirken, wo du Stufen nach
I'm back. All right. Well, I guess we'll finish off with some finish it off. Oh, finish off with some more trailers before we. And by the way, thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate your time. I know it's precious, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing. So let's do a couple of these. I haven't seen them. And then we'll call it a night. Let's start with this one. All right.
Bushido. それは己の均衡を保つこと。勇敢、礼儀、名誉、忠、慈悲、そして正義。私を打ち砕こうとした石は決意の刃を研ぎ澄ませたに過ぎない。因縁の大事が叶う時、この空が赤く染まろう。無残なに叫んで汚れた膝を抱えてる。それでもそんな今日はたりしたくないから行かなきゃやらなきゃ。しわくちゃの顔のままで生きるよ。あなたが
Attack on Titan techniques. Ooh. Okay. I don't hate that. Hey girl. Nice mask. All right, let's see what else they got. I didn't see this one either. A couple of trailers I just haven't had a chance to see. Specialist. Watching with you.
Thanks, buddy. Nightfall's in the
Thanks for coming out tonight. Help me get the chance out. Appreciate it. Damn. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. A couple more, then would be. How about this? Yeah. This is one. Oh, not that. Was that the one? Sorry, give me a sec. Yeah, that was. The reveal trailer, God Slayer. Let's watch the gameplay, and then we'll call it a night. Thanks again for coming out tonight.
The hideout is on fire. Celestials. Master, they must be after the researcher.
Could be. We need to act fast. I'll deal with the Celestials. You go on ahead and find out what's going on. Don't do anything rash.
Easy for you to say. Now, how do I get past all the soldiers?
What happened? The mechanism?
And he tells me not to do anything rash.
Mind your business. Damn it!
Catch him!
What? There you go.
Damn! Stop right there! Where did he go? It's you! He's not there!
Whoa, too many.
Stop! There he is! Nowhere to run down! Don't move! Have a taste of my ass! No! Put it out! Put it out!
I get fired too. Oh.
Cool off, you lot. Oh, no. Gonna be cold.
It's Avatar. Best Airbender.
What's going on here?
Here we are. Fodder, fools, humans. Which is next?
Precious head. Minions.
That must be Master.
Damn. Saving the people. Damn. Water. Where do you get the water from? The bridge?
Go! Head for the signal.
Badass game.
Come on!
Theme funk. All right.
PlayStation.
That was a good one. Well, thanks for hanging out on Culture Exchange Live. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share the stream. It helps this community grow and pushes this conversation forward. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Follow next stream. Stay sharp, stay grounded. Stay safe out there. Memento mori. God bless.